If you're thinking of building your own custom production or gaming PC, you're probably wondering on where to even start. Well, the first thing you need to do is order the parts, but even that part can become complicated. Let's say you finally decided on Intel or an AMD CPU. Will it actually fit the motherboard? And how much power do you need to give it? Well, on today's video, I'm going to give you a beginner's guide on how to do that. And it's so easy, even a child could do this. Let's get started. So I've gone back and forth between AMD and Intel CPUs, depending on what's the best performance mixed with the best pricing. So let's first go to Google and search what's the fastest CPU right now. For Intel, the answer is the i9-14900K, coming in at $576, and it's going to provide us 24 cores and 32 threads. I do the same search for the fastest AMD CPU, which is the Ryzen 9 7950X3D, coming in at a nice $600, and it has 16 cores and 32 threads. Now, you can further your research by watching benchmarks on real-life performance, and I will base the next steps once I decide on a CPU. For this example, let's choose the Intel i9-14900K. The next part is going to pcpartpicker.com, and this website is awesome because it lets you add all your components. It's going to show you if the parts are compatible with each other, and it even shows you the pricing from different websites. Let's click on Start Your Build. Let's choose CPU, and we're going to search for the i9-14900K. Here we see that there's a couple of versions. Since I'm going to be adding a separate graphics card, I decide for the 13900KF version, which does not bring the integrated graphics card. Now it's time to decide what type of cooling we want to add to the CPU. You can do liquid cooling or air cooling. From my experience, adding a liquid cooler is not that much harder than adding a regular fan. Might be a little more expensive, so it's gonna depend on what you want to spend and if you want the liquid cooling. I'm going to go for the Kraken liquid cooler for this example. I'm going to choose the NZXT Kraken 360 RGB, which comes with 3 fans, and it's going to take up the entire full size of the case. I now go to the case since I usually have one in mind already. I love the way Lian Li cases look, and they're easy to work on. I'm going to choose the Dynamic O11 Evo in black. Now for the motherboard, I'm not very picky and I choose what has good reviews, good pricing, and it's compatible with my CPU. For this example, I'm going to go with the Asus TUF Gaming Z90 Plus Wi-Fi. After we add that, let's finalize by adding memory, SSD, video card, and a power supply. Jesse here from the future. I wanted to add a little more details for these last parts. For the SSDs, I would go for the faster NVMe M2, which fit directly into your motherboard without the need of any SATA cables or screwing it into your case. For memory, definitely go for the fastest available. In our example, we're going to use the DDR5 and 64 gigs, which is probably more than I need, but I'm going for an ultra build in this example. For the video card, depending on your budget, you can get the fastest one from NVIDIA or AMD, but it's all gonna depend on how much you want to spend. For the power supply, double check that it's enough to power the video card. I'm gonna go with an NVIDIA RTX 4080 video card, which requires at least 750 watts, but I like to add more juice. So for a minimum, I would go for 850 watts to even 1000 watts. For operating system and monitor, I usually get this separately, so I'm not gonna add them here. If anything is incompatible, The website will let you know so you don't go through the trouble of that mess. Our build comes to about $3,200, and if you feel you are over your budget, you can play around with the build by going with a less expensive video card or a less expensive CPU, depending on your needs. I click on buy from Amazon and it tells me if some parts are only in stock from other vendors. And I can now be confident with my PC build because it's gonna have the right compatible parts and it's just one less thing to worry about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that I was able to provide you with some value and helping you choose the right parts for your gaming or production PC. Give the video a like so it can spread to other people, and don't be afraid to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, Ultratech out.